Right, so this is actual specimen paper, and this question's in paper 1. So this is a non-calculator one, so they'll be expecting you to work this out without the calculator. So what we've got is we've got a pipe, and it's got some water at the bottom of the pipe. They're saying the water is its deepest point, that's 5 centimetres, and obviously from the centre to the edge, that's the radius. Okay, so from there up to there, that's the radius. Now the first thing they're asking is they're asking you actually write down an expression for x in terms of r. Okay, so what we've got here is that's the radius. If you take away 5, that gives you x, and that's what the expression is. So x equals the radius minus 5. Okay, so if you think about that distance is x, if you add 5 to it, that gives you that overall size of the radius. Now, what they're then asking is calculate the radius of the pipe. Okay, so they tell you that what x is, they tell you what 5, so you need to work out the radius of the pipe. So what we actually have to do there is, again, it's using Pythagoras. Now, if I look here, what we can do is to use Pythagoras, we need a right angle triangle. So what we do here is we can create a triangle just like this. So we've got a right angle there. We've got that side from there to there is 18, so we know that that is actually 9. We know that this is a radius, okay? And we know this side is, it's already labelled there, but I'll just label it here, right? So we know that side's x, we know that side's 9, and we're wanting to work out what the radius. So what we have to do there, and again, this is c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Now obviously that's labelled differently than the one we're doing, so you could think of that as being your c. I'll minimise this. You could think of that as being your c. You could think of that one as being, say it's your a and that's your b. Right? It doesn't really matter these sides, as long as that side is your c. So what we can say is c squared, so we can say, well, c is r, so r squared equals, we've got x. Okay, now we know that x is equal to r minus 5, so instead of saying x squared, we can now say, well, that is equal to r minus 5 squared. And then we go plus, and we're actually given a number value, and that is 9. Okay, so plus 9. And remember it's squared. So what we then have to do is just work this out. So what we have is we go r squared equals, and we just, r minus 5 squared is just 2 sets of brackets with r minus 5 in it, and that is plus 9 squared is 81. So we then just r squared equals, remember r times r gives you r squared. Then got r times minus 5, which gives you minus 5r. You've then got minus 5 times r, which is another minus 5r. And then we've got minus 5 times minus 5, which is your 25. Two minuses make a positive, and then you plus your 81. Collect all the like terms, so that's r squared, that's minus 10r, okay, and plus, that's 106. Then what we've got is we can take away, subtract r squared from both. Okay, so we've got 0 equals minus 10r plus 106. And then we just move this 10r across to the other side. So if we actually add 10r, so you end up with 10r equals 106. And then obviously if it's 10r equals 106, you divide it by 10. Okay, so we just go, well, divide that by 10, divide that side by 10, and you end up with your answer of r equals 10.6. So it really stems down from getting this expression correct. So again, draw on your wee diagram, or you can end up just drawing your triangles and then just putting out all the values. So we knew that was 9, that was the radius we were looking for, that was x, but remember x equaled r minus 5. Okay, so we're using that value, using that, and we're using that value within this equation. So you need to remember your Pythagoras theorem. Okay, and that is the answer to that question.